Hello and welcome to the Capital Area Food Bank recipe video library. Today, we're going to make a really great recipe of quick pickled vegetables. This is a super easy recipe and it's really flexible. You can use any vinegars and any vegetables you have. So it's also really good for different seasonal produce. So let's begin. In a medium bowl, we're going to mix the ingredients for the marinade of our pickled vegetables. We're going to start with half a cup of apple cider vinegar. You can use any vinegar you have. We're also going to mix 1 cup of water. I've just grabbed this from the sink. Super easy. Next, 1 tablespoon of sugar. I'm just using white sugar. It's also okay to use honey, brown sugar. Again, this is a super flexible recipe, so use anything you have. Next, I have 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Perfect. And we're just going to whisk this in the bowl. So you can feel in the bottom there that there's some grains. We just want to do that until there's not any. Okay, I think that should be good. We're going to set this aside until we are ready to put everything together. So next, I'm going to start chopping some vegetables. Today, I've decided to do carrot, red onion, cucumber, and radish. These are just things that I really like, and I think they come out really good pickled. But again, you can use anything you have. So I just have my clean cutting board and a sharp knife, and I'm going to keep my fingers tucked away the whole time I'm cutting. Just going to cut off the ends to start. And you can peel the carrot if you want, but it's really fine if you just wash it. I've just washed it off today, and that's totally all right. I'm going to cut mine in half. You can also shred it or cut it into slices, whatever is best. I like these little long planks, so let's get that cut in half again. Then I'm going to tuck my fingers and just cut little slices. Just like that. I think this just adds a nice crunch, and then you can eat these on burgers or salads or even just any kind of rice bowl, tacos, anything you want. And look at that beautiful color. So I've already cut some carrots here. So we're going to put all of these into our jar. Now you can use any kind of jar for this. I'm using a mason jar today. If you have a leftover salsa jar, you can clean that out and use it. You can also use a peanut butter jar. Anything works. Next, I'm going to do a cucumber. Then just cut off the little bits of the ends. And this, I think I'm going to cut into slices. You can do it the same way we did the carrot. I think I just like the different shapes and sizes of things in here. It makes it really beautiful. So again, tucking my fingers away, just going to cut this into thin rounds, however thick or thin you want. I'm going pretty thin just so that marinade can soak in. Now let's join this with our carrot in the jar. Next vegetable I'm going to add is some radishes. I think these are just such a beautiful color and a really nice crunch. So I think the easiest way is to keep this green part on because it kind of gives you something to hold on to. I'm just going to cut off that little root and then cut it into thin slices, just like we did for the cucumber. Just like that. And then you can toss this last part. And then we're left with these really pretty little slices. They're also going to go right in the jar. The last vegetable I'm going to cut is a red onion. I'll probably do half of this red onion. I'm just going to start by very carefully keeping my fingers tucked, cut off the top. I think it's easiest if you keep this little fuzzy bit on the bottom on where the roots are. I'm going to cut it in half. I'm just going to take off the first layer or two of that kind of papery outside. I want this to be cut into slices. Again, you can cut it however you want. I'm going to just keep this root on, hold on at the bottom, and just cut some really thin slices. Let's get the last of this in our jar. All right, I'm just going to jam pack it here. That marinade will work wonders. Last but not least, we're gonna do some add-ins. This is totally optional. I just kind of like these things. You can add any kind of fresh or dried herbs you want, any kind of seasonings. I'm going with some crushed red pepper. It's gonna add a little bit of spice, and I really like that. Just gonna shake it right into the jar. I did maybe a quarter teaspoon, and I think that should be good for me. You can do however much you'd like. And next I'm gonna add some garlic. I'm gonna chop mine up a little bit today. Let's get this into the jar. Give you a shot of the inside of the jar. It looks so gorgeous, and I'm really, really excited. Last but not least, we're going to pour our vinegar over this until it fills to the top. I'm gonna whisk it up really quickly again, just to make sure nothing has settled. And then I'm just gonna pour it over our jar very carefully. And look at that, is the exact perfect amount of marinade. This is so gorgeous. Let me show you this side with all the radishes. This is so beautiful. I'm gonna throw the lid on to tighten it up. And you can let this sit at room temperature for about an hour. I like to let it sit in the fridge overnight, but honestly, I think it's even good if you just eat it right away, and it's kind of like a little salad. So here you have it, your quick pickled vegetables. I really, really hope you try this at home. If you want to, click on the link below. And there we have it, pickled veggies.